Before I get into this video, I want to congratulate you. You've been fortunate enough to stumble across my platform. You've watched a few of my videos, or perhaps something that I've said or something that's occurred in your life has triggered you to want more out of life, triggered you to push to want to become more victorious. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the importance of adopting a winner's mindset and how it's helped me on the sporting field, in business, in all realms of life. Now, as you all know, we live in a world filled with an abundance of distractions and temptations, and for very good reason. And to be quite honest with you, I'm actually glad we do. Because without distractions and temptations, we wouldn't have a separation between winners and losers. Losers get sucked into instant gratification. Losers think it's cool to do what everyone else does because it gives them a sense of belonging. Losers aren't real men. Now, if you're watching this, I'm absolutely certain that you want to be a winner. But let me tell you something. Wanting to become a winner is one thing, but you need to change that want into a need. Because part of being a winner comes with an amount of work that 99% of the population is not willing to do. I will repeat that. Part of being a winner comes with an amount of work that 99% of the population is not willing to do. So if you're not prepared to join the 1% that want more from life, that are in the best physical condition, that are relied upon by their teammates, that have respect from their friends and their peers, that women want them, that people can rely on, then I'm telling you right now, it's not too late to turn the video off and go back to scrolling on TikTok, Netflix, and chasing everything else that's going to fill up your dopamine receptors. If you're still around, good. Buckle up. In fact, go get a pen and paper. I'm going to need you to write down some notes. I'm about to share with you my experiences through my life that have helped me adopt the mindset that I have to this day. And through that, it's going to help you take you from where you are to where you need to get to. Let's get into the first point. You need to believe that you are the man. I cannot stress how important this is. We live in a world where it's frowned upon to have an ego. It's stupid as. In fact, it's ridiculous. People these days don't want you to talk with conviction. Let me tell you something. Your life is never going to be worse if you walk around believing you are the man. And I mean that seriously. People don't want you to be arrogant. People don't want you to have an ego. Do you know what I say to them? Fuck them. Develop an ego. Developing an ego is part of believing that you are the man. I'm not talking about being delusional and overly arrogant. People with an ego that talk, the ego pushes them to prove the words that they say are correct. That's what winners do. So you need to believe you are the man. Guys, I'm 5'7". 5'7". The reason why I'm telling you this is because men by nature are supposed to be big, strong, tall, powerful, protectors. And I'm 5'7". I can assure you that the majority of men, if they woke up tomorrow at my height, they would have a heart attack. A damn heart attack. And the reason why they'd wake up with a heart attack is because deep down, they don't truly believe they are the man. This isn't something that you just say. You have to actually believe it. Every opponent that I faced on the field was taller than me. You think I cared? No. When I fought in the ring, when I boxed, he was taller than me too. Still knocked him out. I've had girls tell me that I'm too short. I still ended up dating them. See, none of these things would have turned in on my favor had I not truly believed that I was the man. Do you think if I went out on the field and I had a taller opponent on me that was arguably stronger and quicker, that I would have gone in as hard if I didn't believe I was the man? Do you think when I stepped into the boxing ring in front of thousands of people. My girlfriend there, my friends, my family, and looked at my opponent who was taller than me. If I didn't truly believe that I was able to knock him out, do you think that would have happened? And if I truly didn't believe that I was the man, I would never have had girlfriends who have loved and adored me, despite what all these women say about wanting tall men. You need to literally believe it. Have you ever seen a boxer square up with an opponent, or any fighter for that matter? Have a look at the conviction in their eyes. These guys will be a contender coming up against a knockout artist, and the contender will still be there facing his opponent, fearless, showing nothing but a belief system that he is the man and he is going to win at all costs. That's the type of mindset that you need to adopt if you have any chance of becoming a winner in this world. Now that you believe that you are the man, this next point is super important. Now there's a whole bunch of shit circulating on the internet about being stoic, controlling your emotions, not feeling anything, and being cold. Reality is we're human beings and we're not robots. And I'm gonna need you to tap into your emotions. Because when you tap into your emotions and you use them correctly, you can direct your emotional energy into the right avenues to build your mindset to harness victory and be successful. Now, before I go any further, tapping into your emotions isn't a free pass for you to feel a little bit down one day and then skip the gym or anything like that. That's absolutely and utterly the wrong way of looking at this. Because if you were to only train, track your food, and get up and go to work when you simply just felt like it, well, the reality is society's existence as a whole, the entire human race, would never have made it this far for you to even be able to watch this video in which I'm creating. But I want you to really think, and I mean really think, because had you had not tapped into your emotions, you wouldn't even be sitting here watching this video right now. Because somewhere along the lines, something may have happened in your life. You may have come across a video and something that I said, perhaps a coach told you weren't good enough, you got rejected by a girl, something. But that all inflicted some emotional reaction, and an emotional reaction that's pushed you to want to make a change. I'm telling you, that's a good thing. That means you're already implementing one of my 4 points. Let me tell you a story. I used to work in construction. I used to run a solar company whilst also playing semi-professional football. I hated my life. I hated my life because I wasn't playing at a level in which I knew my potential could see. I'd made a couple of bad choices earlier in my career and that led me to where I was, but I had to deal with it. And on top of that, I was working a business in which I had absolute no passion for. This angered me. That anger has fueled me to get out of the industry, quit football, and put myself in a position right now doing what I love and helping men to be more victorious in all aspects of their life. That would never have occurred had I not tapped into my emotions, gotten angry, and then channeled that anger into the direction to fuel me to get what I wanted to get. And now I'm in a way better place. But don't be fooled, I'm far from happy. I'm not depressed by any means, but because I'm constantly in the pursuit of wanting to do better, constantly not happy with my current situation, that makes me angry. And that anger drives me to continue to work to take on the next challenge, the challenge after that, and the one after that. So tap into your emotions and allow them to fuel you. Heartbreak is by far the best form of energy. High octane, jet fuel. If you got a broken heart, get in the gym. There is no man that is more unstoppable than a man in the gym that just got his heart ripped apart. I wish I got rejected more often. I wish I could be in a state of rejection. I sometimes wish I could have my heart broken just so I could feel that energy so I can channel it into my life to make me a better person. If a coach benches you, get angry. But don't just get angry and kick your boots against the wall. Find out why. And once you've found out why, get that untapped energy from anger and channel it into making yourself a better player so that doesn't happen again. This is another massive point. In fact, they're all massive points. So I hope you've got your pen and paper out and you're writing this down. In fact, you're probably wise to watch this over 3-4 times. And if you're truly a man, I don't need to explain this to you. And that is, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody. Because in this world, unfortunately, nobody's going to give a shit about you as much as you do. And that means nobody's going to give a shit about you as much as you need to give a shit about yourself. Yes, that means your grandma, your mum, your dad, your wife, your girlfriend, they're not going to give a shit about you as much as you need to. Look, they're not going to leave you sleeping under a bridge by any means. But your dad or your girlfriend, they're not going to wake you up and drive you to the gym and lift the weights for you and then drive you back home and then dress you and then take you to work and then make the sale and then put your boots on so you can score the goal and make you lose the weight. No. You need to take responsibility as a man. You need to step up to that. No government, no nothing is going to do that. Winners make winning scenarios out of the situations they are put in. The cards you're dealt with, you make do. You don't sit and complain. No one is going to save you. The quicker you come to understanding that, the better you will be. The more responsibility you will take on your hands. The closer you will be to becoming a man, which is ultimately becoming a winner. See, this is why I love the sport of boxing so much. Because when I came from playing in a football team to then training to get into the ring, I used to play a sport in which I could have an atrocious game and still celebrate a victory. Or I could have an amazing game and be on the receiving end of a loss. Boxing, that taught me that no one is going to save me. No one. Not my coach, not my mum and dad, not my girlfriend, not the crowd, not God, me. I had to take more responsibility. I quickly learned that as a boxer, you need to be a defender, you need to be a midfielder, and you need to be a striker all in one. Otherwise, you will never be victorious. When I did my fight, first round, I lost straight out. Second round, I arguably won. But I knew going into the third and final round, if I did not knock him out convincingly, then I'm going to leave it up to the judges. No one else was going to do it for me. There was no other striker to pass the ball to score. No one. My coach couldn't do it. The crowd couldn't do it. I needed to step up. I needed to make that play. Nobody was going to save me other than me. Sure, people gave a shit about me. People were there cheering, but I still needed to do the work to be victorious in that fight. So what did I do? I knocked him out, and that was the end of it. Because I knew nobody was going to save me. This is why fighters walk around like they are the shit. Like their shit don't stink. You ever seen Mayweather? There is no one more confident in this world than Mayweather. Seen Conor McGregor? The guy's flapping around, doesn't care. That's because they truly understand that nobody's going to save them. And when they're thrown in the octagon, when they're thrown in the ring, it's entirely up to them to win. Sure, don't get me wrong, they've got coaches and that help better prepare them. But at the end of the day, they still need to execute it that solely relies on them. Strikers in football, they're somewhat the same. And the reason why they have a little bit more of an ego than any other position player on the field is because they execute the final blow, which is typically the difference between winning and losing. Why do you think strikers are the ones that usually win all the awards? because they're the difference makers. That's why they walk around with an ego, because they understand that if they're not up there, up top, the team's not going to score, the team's not going to win, and by default, the team needs them, arguably, more so than any other player on the field. So if you want that winner's mindset, you literally need to adopt the mindset of a fighter and put that into every realm of your life and throw punches like you need to win, because nobody else is going to do it for you other than you. Now, this brings me to my fourth and final point. Now, in all honesty, if you cannot implement this, then the other three mean absolutely nothing. Because often at times, as men, all we have is our word. And this is why the fourth point is being a man of your word. Now, over the last few years, I've been running like a men's community coaching group, kind of like a run club, but much more hardcore. This isn't something where you rock up, you go for your little run, you get a little photo for your Instagram and you post it. None of that shit. This is serious. In this run club, we have rules, standards, bare minimums that we uphold. And one of those bare minimums is being a man of your word. Now, in order to join this club, you need to give your word to these men. And you need to be able to uphold your word. Not just give it, uphold it. Because everybody can talk, but you need to be a man of action behind the words in which you say. Now, if you don't, you get kicked out. Simple as that. They're the rules. They're the standards. That is what we instill within the community that we run. And it's funny because a lot of people sit and say, you know what, Tamer, what kind of cult are you running here? You know, you got to do this, that, and the other to join this group. All these people say it from the comfort of their bed, whilst we're at the beach, before the crack of dawn, meeting before 6 a.m., sprinting hills. Not just once, not just twice. We're doing it like 13, 14 times now. Rain, hail, or shine. Then we're getting in the water, neck deep, for 10 minutes. Sharing our wins. Sharing our goals. Being honourable men of our word, that we'd say to each other that we would be there, rain, hail, or shine, no matter what. But the point I'm trying to make here is that ever since starting this run club, and I've seen hundreds of men come and go here, what it's taught me is the large proportion of people bullshit themselves. Now you might be thinking, oh, you know what, it's just a run club, get over it, like there's better things to do. And sure, you might be right for a small portion of those that have gone. But let me tell you, the large proportion of people that have given us their word and have ended up leaving because they weren't able to meet the bare minimum requirements, if you look at their lives externally, there are similar patterns of them not upholding their word in other avenues of their life. Not just can they attend at 6 a.m. on a Monday, it's bullshitting themselves with their training. It's bullshitting themselves with their diet. It's bullshitting themselves with the amount of work they put in their business. It's bullshitting themselves with their girlfriends. It's bullshitting themselves ultimately as men. This is why if you're going to say something, you need to fulfill it. Otherwise, it's all over for you. Winners, you know what winners have? Winners have conviction when they speak. They don't just pray and hope to God that things are going to magically end up the way they want it to be. No, they have a plan and they execute with authority, and that gets them the result that they're after. A few years ago, I was going to go buy this business. I told everybody, I'm going to go buy this business. Yeah, this is what I'm doing. This is my plan over the next 6 to 12 months. I got my logo sorted. I registered the company name. I got the website. I invested thousands of dollars just right there. I spent 6 months working this business, learning it. My plan was to automate it and have it running in the background. I lost tens of thousands, arguably hundreds of thousands of dollars, investing my time and effort into the pursuit of this business. I had told everybody that I was going to attain it. Long story short, the deal fell through. I had never felt so sick in my life. You know why? I couldn't give a shit about the business. In fact, I'm glad I didn't get the business now that I look at it in hindsight. Why I felt sick is because I had told so many people I was going to do X, Y, and Z, and none of them came to fruition. I felt sick because I thought people were going to think I was a bullshit artist. I felt sick because I thought people weren't going to think I was a man of my word. I remember sitting in my house. I had cooked a porterhouse steak on the charcoal. Proper. Couldn't have cooked it any better. Smelled unbelievable. I was that sick. I remember cutting into it. Looked at my brother and I go, man, I can't even eat this. I lost like 4 kilos in 2 weeks. That's how sick I was. Because men with a winner's mindset don't talk shit. You think Ronaldo's out here bullshitting himself? You think Ronaldo's in and ahhing whether he's going to the gym? Think about it. I've never, ever met Ronaldo. I don't know him from a bar of soap. And I can guarantee you, he is not and ahhing. He has true conviction with the words that come out of his mouth. When he says he's going to do something, he does it and he means it because he is a winner. So if you say you're going to do something, do it. Because some of you watching this right now, and all you have is your word. And if you can't even uphold that, what chance do you actually have? Because when you start becoming a man of your word, your self-accountability starts to increase as a byproduct. You will be a lot more careful with the words that you say because you mean every single one of them. You're not fluffing around and just saying whatever just to make noise. You speak the truth. You speak with conviction and you speak words that are actionable by you. You're not being a bullshit artist. This is why I'm a huge advocate of telling people your goals. This is why I post so much of my personal stuff on social media. Why? Because it helps keep me accountable. Going back to developing an ego, like I said, I talk a lot. And I talk a lot purposely because I know that if I say something, I now have to work to prove that I'm not a bullshit artist. So the more that I post on social media about my personal life, about the challenges that I'm going to complete, about the diets that I'm doing, the more that I tell my friends that I'm going to do X, Y, Z, I now put the responsibility in my hands to fulfill my obligation of doing what I said I was going to do. That in turn makes me self-accountable for my own actions, making me a better person, a man of my word, and becoming a winner. When I stepped into the ring, I said I am going to win. But then I also actioned it and trained appropriately. I didn't just say it. You need to truly believe it. You need to truly action it. This is not a pray, hope, and then we'll get the result. You need to action it. You need to believe it. You need to adopt the winner's mindset if you want to take yourself from where you are right now to the place in which you want to get to. So ask yourself, what kind of man are you? Are you one that's reliable to their word? Or are you just a bullshit artist too? Now, if you are a man of action and you want to learn more on how you can adopt and implement my 4 pillars of a winner's mindset into your life, check out the links in the description. Fill out the application form, book in a free call with me, or alternatively, just direct message me on Instagram with the word train and I'll be in touch.